Thank you, Deputy Paul McAuliffe.
I got Cathaoirleach. It's amazing how much of the recent statements on European Council statements have been dominated by the war in Ukraine, and it, I suppose, shows how there's been such a significant shift and the impact which that war has had. The key, I suppose, the key issues in which we've responded to both the inflation crisis and to the war in Ukraine. We have increased interest rates. The European Central Bank has increased interest rates, and equally we have had a very significant increase in fuel costs. And both of those issues are having a real impact on households, on the cost of living right across the continent. Now, I do believe the Irish government has taken significant steps, and another €200 payment now will be heading towards fuel costs. But I think as we head into the winter, and as many people who are on fixed interest rates start to exit those, I think we need to, both at an Irish level and at a European level, we need to continue to protect people, particularly over next winter and into 2024, from the impacts of those two issues. And government alone cannot protect or insulate people entirely from the impact of those. But I do think we need to do more, and it can't just be at a national level. There has to be a clear European response. But can I say something that kind of transcends any one European Council meeting, and that is the issue of immigration. And the attempt by some within the European political spectrum to vilify those people who are fleeing war, to vilify the impact that they have on any one country, and to exploit the very genuine needs and frustrations, often in very disadvantaged communities right across the continent. And I think Europe needs to ask itself a very significant question. Europe has been dominated by extreme ideologies for more than 100 years in different ways. Bolshevism, fascism, communism, different forms of extreme ideology. There's many who believe that our current liberal form of democracy is worth protecting. But if we're going to really protect it, then we have to actually make sure that we go into those communities that are experiencing disadvantage, where there's generational unemployment, where there's issues of addiction, where there's child poverty. And actually Europe invests in those communities at a European-wide level in the way that they did very successfully in terms of regional policy in rural areas. Ireland benefited hugely from investment in Europe in rural Ireland and in regional policy. But I do think that there are urban areas across our continent which now need that same investment. And of course, national government shouldn't shirk its responsibilities, and we need to do far more as a national government to tackle those issues, and they happen over a generation, not over any one government term. I welcome the current government's commitment to roll out the North East inner city model to new communities. I think that will help. It provides interagency responses to issues of disadvantage. But if we do not, at a European-wide level, tackle these issues in our core cities, where disadvantage is being exploited by those people on the far right who believe that the World Economic Forum is some form of world government that's coming in to take over, well, then those fears will be exploited by the popular right, and we will lose the very sacred form of liberal democracy that I think does serve us well and does serve the nation well. So I hope the Irish government can echo that at a European level, and that we have a wider European response to these issues rather than relying alone on national governments.